You know, I always say that on any great team, no one player wins a championship. It takes the entire team. And it's like writing a book. Every player, including the last guy on the bench, is going to put a chapter in that book. And that's the difference, you know, and the same thing that happened to this team. Now the book is being rewritten to see if they can get one more, two more, whatever it takes. And then when they, you know, the hardest thing is like he was talking about, Coach was talking about Klay. Klay has always been the hardest on himself, always has been. He's a very emotional player that always striving to be better, even when he have a great game. He's never satisfied. So then all of a sudden, age comes in. This is young man's sport. Let's just face it, no matter what, I don't care how great you are or how many rebounds, you know, you get, at some point you aren't going to be able to do the things that you did 2 years ago or 5 years ago. But the one thing you have to always remember, like Coach said, he just has to understand that he's still a great player. So the greatest thing they could have ever done was to bring him off the bench, because nobody that's coming off that, the players that are coming off the bench on those opposing teams are going to be able to just knock him out of the box. And then he's going to be able to help, still be a big help to what they're trying to get to this year, which I think they have just as good a chance as anybody in the NBA to go back to the championship. They just got to believe, they have to work together, they have to understand sacrificing whatever it takes. And that's the difference. That's what our team was like. You think all of us didn't score lots of points coming out of high school and college? It's no different. But what those men on that team have to realize is that what do we need to do to put a trophy on that table?
What do you think went wrong for you guys tonight?
I just think that we just need to, I think Coach said it at halftime, when we get into things, like being able to slow down and get into something on offense. I think that there was a few times where that didn't happen, especially to close out the half, and they took advantage of it.
What makes it so challenging when you're guarding a big guy like Jokic, who is equally as dangerous setting up an offense and passing the ball than he is as scoring the basketball?
It puts you at a disadvantage. I mean, he's one of the best players in the world. He can score, he can facilitate, but we try to take away his passing. Obviously, he had 15, 16 assists, so it's hard, but at the same time, you got to choose something to take away, and we try to, and he was just doing it all tonight.
Haven't seen them four times this season. I mean, what sticks out the most in terms of what they do well? It's obviously so many things, but what makes them who they are?
I think they're resilient. They're a very resilient team. Obviously, they won the championship last year, returned most of their guys. But at the end of the day, I think it was on us, and we bit ourselves in the foot a few times. When we get a lead, we just got to maintain it. I mean, the last time they were in here, we were up by 15 or 16 in the fourth, and so I just think that we need to maintain and keep building on the lead and keep getting stops and stuff of that nature.
Trayce, to go off of that with Denver, it's now 7 straight losses against them. I know you weren't here for all of those, but what's the frustration like knowing that you guys weren't able to get one in the regular season this time around?
At the end of the day, we got to flush it. We've been playing really good basketball. They're a great team. I think in 2 or 3 of those we didn't have Draymond, and so who knows what would have happened in the other ones. But at the same time, we got to flush it. We got Washington in 2 days, and so we got to get ready for that.
When you say, you guys are trying to take away the pass from Jokic, what does that look like exactly? Like, is it just playing him straight up one-on-one?
Yeah, exactly. Playing him straight up one-on-one, trying to press up on him, get into his grill, basically, take away passing lanes, everyone space out, and kind of just by yourself one-on-one. Obviously, he's such a good player. He can stand on that 1 foot, and then at the last second, throw a lob, throw something. If you try to come double late or stuff of that nature, he's a very, very talented player.
Draymond was the primary defender on Jokic. What did he tell you guys about the task of handling him? And what do you think about Draymond finishing this game with only one foul when he was trying to contend with Jokic?
It's just who he is as a defender. Obviously, it's two greats going at it. Joker's a great player. Draymond's a great player. Obviously, offense is at an advantage in this day and age in the NBA. But at the end of the day, we try to take a lot of his stuff away, and sometimes great players make great plays.
Team defense standpoint, what makes Jokic so challenging?
Well, he's really big. He's very nimble, and he's got great touch. He's got great vision, and I mean, he had a monster night tonight. Just one of the best players in the world.
How and why do you think this game kind of flipped so drastically like it did?
I think we may have relaxed a little bit when we got up 15. Can't do that against defending champs. But we'll learn from it and start a new win streak on the road.
You had 23, in 10, 11 minutes, and then finish with 23. What are you just not able to get the same looks in the second half?
Yeah, I just took. I took 2 great looks from 3. Third one might have been a little rushed, but I just got to do a better job of inserting myself in the flow of the offense in moments like that. Not even just to shoot, but just to make plays and feel the leather. And usually, when you do that, you generate good looks.
Klay, before the game, Steve was saying that he was applauding your approach to coming off the bench and saying he thought you were more relaxed and had a better mindset than you had a couple of weeks ago. Do you feel that? And just how has this stretch been since coming back from the All-Star break?
It's been great. I feel refreshed, especially mentally, from the All-Star break. And, I never looked at coming off the bench really as demotion, considering I'm still playing 25 to 30 minutes a night. I'm been in this league a long time, and to still be contributing at a high level and playing those type of minutes, you got to be grateful for that.
Have you changed up your routine at all pregame to kind of adjust for coming, into the game later with 7 minutes left or 6.5 minutes left?
Not really, to be honest. I still just trying to stay loose on the sideline, be myself, and just play with a free mind, and just be myself when my number's called.
How easy or hard is it to jump into the middle of a game? You say touch the leather, you haven't been playing, to feel like you're right in the flow when you're coming off the bench?
It's not that difficult, because usually coach will call a set for me or point guard. So the adjustment's been pretty easy, and still played most minutes tonight, and coming off the bench, so it's not the end of the world.
Klay, what's the difference in your mind on the road with this year's team versus last year? You guys are obviously more successful on the road, and you have a bunch of road games coming up.
It's a good question. I don't know. I just think we've been able to close out games better on the road this year, and we're leaning on everyone to play. And guys are ready when their number's called. You might not get a lot of tick the night before, but the next night could be completely different. So we've had guys who are being great pros and competing when they're called upon.
Chris could come back on the road trip. What are you expecting from him and to add to the second unit? And then just what ways has he stayed engaged despite missing time?
I expect Chris to be himself, and that's just one of the greatest playmakers, a pesky defender, and just to kind of right the ship when Steph needs a break. It's very exciting, and I'm excited to step on the floor with him and lead that second unit. I think we could be you can't really ask for a better backcourt to come off the bench with, so it's very exciting, to be honest.